Hello boys and girls. I'm finally making another video, and today we're going to be working on a lawn boy. I like lawn boys, I just don't like working on them, especially a Duraforce. It's a 2-cycle. They don't make those anymore. I think they quit making them in the mid-2000s. So here's the story. I sold a mower over a month ago, probably a month and a half ago. And the guy said, I have a lawn boy Duraforce, runs fine, transmission doesn't work. Do you want it? I said, sure. So he brought it over. Sure enough, it ran fine, transmission didn't work. In my garage, I have 2 Duraforces with good transmissions that I can't get to stay running. And I've just been holding on to them for spare parts. So I took his engine that was on this deck. This is the bad transmission. Put it on my deck with a good transmission, and I've been using it quite a bit this summer. It's working fine. But I need to change the belt. And that's what today's video is going to be all about. I'm going to steal his belt, because his belt's in pretty good shape, and put it on my deck. And then it should be ready to sell. So let's get to it. Step 1 complete. Retrieve salvage belt. Step 2, we need to put our new used belt. There is a part number on there, Toro 92-1043. We need to put it on the good lawnmower. It's not a real simple thing. We actually have to take the engine off. It's another reason why I don't like these lawnmowers. But let's do it. And since this engine's coming off and will be tipped and whatnot, I did put a plastic baggie under the gas cap to try to prevent any spillage. Step number 1, we got to get the blade and the mulching blade off. And that nut is a 15/16. Going into my foot. Sometimes these are a little stubborn to get off. Next, I'm going to remove this cover. It's got the little U tube for the exhaust to make the exhaust, which normally on an old lawn boy shoots out the bottom. It redirects it to shoot out the top. At any rate, this needs to come off. Because there's a little U-tube, haha, U-tube, because there's a bolt in there that needs to come out. Those 4 bolts were 17/16. Now the engine. Pull it out. You can just kind of sit down there on the ground. Okay. Rest your hands. Okay. So there's 2 half-inch bolts that are up in this muffler area. Get those 2, and then the other 3 on the outside, and then the engine comes right off. And before this belt cover breaks, let's remove this one screw that holds it on. There. And I took the belt off the pulley that's on the bottom of the engine, and to get it off of the pulley on the transmission, there's 2 hex bolts. I believe they are 13/16, so we got to get those out. And the old belt is off. And after a little bit of arm wrestling, we got the new used belt and bracket and those 2 bolts back in. Just reverse of how it came off. Now let's put the belt back on the pulley on the engine, like that, and we'll try to bolt her back onto the deck. Okay, alright, I would definitely recommend you do this with help. For instance, today I had my dad holding the engine, and the first 2 bolts I put in are the long 1/2-inch bolts that are under that muffler cover. So now at least it's bolted in. I'm going to put the remaining 3 in, put that cover back on, and then we'll flip it over and we'll put all the covers on the top back on. Tighten the blade bolt for a minute. Next we'll put our belt cover on. The end of it has 2 little slots that need to slide under the block like that, so watch for that. And then we'll put that little screw in there and we'll reconnect the cable right there. And don't forget to remove your baggie. I need to adjust the cable. Well, there you have it, folks. If you have one of these pain in the butt Lawn Boy Duraforce lawnmowers, that is how you change the belt. You can't just get underneath, remove the blade, and replace the belt. You gotta actually take the engine off. That's why I'm not a fan of these. One of many reasons, but at least the one on the left is working correctly again. And after another test mow, it'll probably go up for sale. So if your Lawn Boy Duraforce needs a belt replaced, I hope this video can help you. Thanks for watching.